Welcome back to Missouri Valley Media Day here on the field of 68. We are joined now by Valparaiso head coach Roger Powell. Roger, it is year 2 as a head coach at Valpo, but it is year, I believe, 7 as a coach with this program. The last time that you were at Valpo before you got the head coaching job, they were in a different league. What has changed kind of about the program, your experience there, now that you guys are in the Missouri Valley?
Oh my goodness, so much has changed. I mean, for me in general, just being at Vanderbilt and then at Gonzaga, just overall my experience has been I've gained a ton. So coming back to this program, it was a different. I had a different mindset. I was ready to be a head coach. As far as the program is concerned, man, it still feels the same. It's people think of Valparaiso University men's basketball program as a program that you know has a strong basketball program. Now, we moved to a tougher league. The Missouri Valley is definitely tougher than the Horizon League we're in. It's extremely competitive. But for me, it's kind of like coming home for me. I kind of grew up around Missouri Valley programs. So, the Bradleys, Illinois States, and just all these teams around Illinois, man. It's pretty cool just being in this league. Now, the task of trying to compete in this league and get Valpo to a championship level in this league is something that, is different. It's different, man. These are great coaches, great programs. We got a lot of new coaches, but they're all really good. So it's a fun challenge for me and something that I'm looking forward to, year 2 in.
So the good thing, Roger, you bring back your top 3 scorers from a year ago. A year ago, it's tough. You get your first head coaching job. It's crazy. Your head's on a swivel. You're trying to figure everything out. You got your top 3 scorers back. That's the good news. The tough news is senior Isaiah Stafford. We don't know kind of what his situation is going to be with his knee injury. What's the latest with that? How much time do you expect him to miss? Is he going to be back this year? Or do we know at this point?
That's a dagger. I'm not going to lie. He's a really good player. I mean, anytime you score multiple 30-point games, scored 30 points on my alma mater at Illinois. I mean, this kid's extremely talented. But last year he was playing through injury for most of the season, so we didn't really get to see, him at full strength. And obviously taking care of everything in the offseason like we did was paramount for his future and for our program. So right now, I think it's, week to week, month to month, he's on pace. Everything looks good. I mean, he was jumping the other day, touching the rim for the first time on vert. So that's a good sign. But, we're not going to rush him back. And we're going to really be smart in how we take care of his body because, I think he deserves to be full strength and he deserves to have a whole season. So we see how it goes. But, hey, man, that's why we had to go out to the portal and get some other guys, some experienced guys to kind of help back us up while we're waiting for him to get back on the court for us.
I want to ask you about another guy you got coming back, Cooper Schweiger, the reigning Missouri Valley Freshman of the Year. One, I want to know what you expect from him. And 2, after you see this kid go out and average 13 points a game last year, is that why you went and got his twin brother so you can kind of double the magic here?
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool having twins, man. It's watching film sometimes you literally can't tell who's which sometimes, but I think Cooper's like about 2 inches taller, so I mean, you can see by the height difference. But I mean, this is a kid that had no Division I offers, wasn't really on anyone's radar. I kind of came in late, getting a job late here and stole him. You watch him play last year, and you're probably shocked that no other Division I schools offered him. Now, with that being said, a lot of Division I schools are trying to get him last year, man. High majors are interested, but I think he's committed to our program and he believes in me because I believe in him. And the funny story is I told him last year around this May, meeting with his family, I said, hey, your son has a chance to be freshman of the year in the Valley. I think he's that good. And they looked at me like I was crazy because he didn't have any D1 offers, but I saw something in him and I still see it. I think that freshman to sophomore year, you tend to make a huge jump. But with that being said, I mean, no one's going to be surprised about him anymore. I mean, he's going to be the target of every team's scouting report. So, I think he's going to take a jump. I think he's going to have a lot more help this year surrounding him. So I'm excited to see him and his leadership and his just maturity. And then, he's gained 15 pounds. So that was a huge thing for him just to get a little stronger and take the physicality of the Valley and older guys in college basketball. So I'm excited to see him have a great season. Hopefully he's a guy that's, first, second team all league this year.
Yeah, Goodman also gained 15 pounds this summer, Roger. So
That's not off right now, Roger. I've been
Yeah, it's
I've been
probably a little easier. Probably a little easier for you than Cooper to do that.
yes,
It was hard for Cooper to
no
get those
doubt,
15.
no doubt. Listen.
We
All
can
I
put on.
know is you were smart when we had our dinner a few years ago in Spokane. I was drinking beer, and it wasn't light beer. You were drinking wine, which I know you absolutely love. A little smarter than me. I got a story for you, Roger, and I want to ask you this. What's your favorite go-to bottle of wine if you had something? Because Rob once, when we went for dinner in New York a few years ago, it's me, John
Here
Fenn,
we
and
go.
Terrence Oglesby, and we're at a high-class, upscale place for dinner in New York City. And Rob looks at the waiter and he goes, could I have the best $15 bottle of wine that you have? $15 bottle of wine. That's what he said.
These are lies. I asked for the glass
Hey,
of wine.
well, first of all, going to a restaurant, it'd be hard to find a $15 bottle of wine.
Yes,
But
agreed.
there are some really good $15 bottles of wine at Costco, and you go to. That's my secret, man. Costco, you can get a $15 bottle of wine. You go to a restaurant, it's probably 40, 50. So I got two of them I have to go to. Two of my go-to wines. The first one is Montepulciano. It's from the Abruzzo region in Italy. I played for Teramo basketball in Italy, and it was the Abruzzo region. So, every time I have a bottle of Montepulciano, it kind of takes me back to Italy, my European professional days. And then, man, my go-to, Tara and I, my wife, just celebrated our 19-year anniversary a couple of weeks ago, and I had to get a bottle of Camus, but I got it from Costco. So, I saved some money, and I just had to pay for the corkage fee when we went out to dinner. So those are my kind of go-tos, 19 years, we're going Camus,
Nice.
dinner with you, we're probably going to go Montepulciano.
All right. Well, just
like
don't let Rob.
that.
Hey, don't let Rob order. Whatever you do, don't let him order.
I do like that you said that you go to Costco for wine, because I always get made fun of for going to Costco to get cuts of meat. They've got the best steaks anywhere in New Jersey. That sounds weird, but where I live, the best steaks you can get are at Costco. All right, I'm going to get this thing back on the tracks. All right, Tyler Schmidt, NAIA All-American. We've seen players move up levels before and have success. Some of them have been in the valley, some of them have been at levels higher, some of them at levels lower. But he is a guy that averaged 24 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists in college basketball last season, fifth-year senior. What are you trying to get from him? Like, what do you expect as he's moving up from NAIA to the valley?
He's another one of those guys, man, that he has experience. I mean, obviously, you score that many points, you kind of know how to play basketball. I'm just looking for him to, be a guy that can, make some shots for us. He's not afraid to shoot and score. He's a bigger, stronger guard, so he gives us some age at the guard and forward spot. And he has a very good understanding of the game. And the last thing is, I love the fact that he's from Valpo. I mean, he came to camp, back when I was an assistant here. And it's funny because I literally remember his face from camp, and just having a chance to coach him for his last year is kind of special.
All right, let's get it back off the rails again. The best ball boy in Valpo history, Roger. Actually, let's say this. If you had to rank from everything you've heard and seen and talked to the Drew, you're plugged in well with the Drew family. Would Robbie Hummel make the top 100 all-time ball boys in Valpo history?
Oh, yeah. Top 100. It's crazy that he was a ball boy in his career. That's pretty cool, right? I'm telling you, man, the Valpo basketball tradition runs deep, even with guys that didn't come and play here.
I got
Has
one
he
more for you.
contributed to your collective yet?
You know what? We need to show him this, because that would be awesome if he did. I'm sure you could help.
Yeah,
a little
he's
bit.
not Roger. He's not reaching in his wallet. Trust me, I've had dinner with him. He's not reaching into his wallet. So don't even.
He's a $9.99 bottle of wine guy, huh?
Yeah,
that's right. Pretty much.
Yes.
He and Rob and Robbie are about the same there. They're about the same. So I got to let you know, you kind of broke my heart back in 2005, that Illinois team. I went to Arizona. You probably didn't know this. You did.
I'm sorry about that, man. Sorry. You don't bring that up every time you go to dinner. This is the first time you brought this up.
I know. Well, I don't try to admit I mean, again, that was as bad a beat as there was. Go back to that game, that Elite Eight game. What you guys were down 14 or something with like 3 minutes left, and beat one of the better Arizona teams of all time. End up going to the national title game, in which, by the way, people don't remember. How many rebounds you have in the national title game against Carolina?
I had 15. I had a few.
That's insane.
That's 6'6".
I mean,
6'6".
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're a big boy, but you are not 6'9", 6'10". Like, you're built like a man. But go back to that Arizona game and what that was like for you. You're down, what was it, 14?
Yeah, 14 with like 3 minutes. It happened so fast, man. It was kind of one of those moments where you think you're down and out. And man, I'm the ref, so I literally prayed before the last timeout, and I was just like, man, God, if it's meant for us to go to the Final Four, man, you got to make something happen. And not a lot of people know I had testimony cards that I printed out with the campus ministry, and we had planned to pass out 60,000 of those cards at the Final Four. So if we would have lost that game, I think they would have still passed those cards out, but it wouldn't have been as cool if I was playing. It wasn't playing in the Final Four. So that I was kind of thinking about that. I mean, there's a lot of emotions going through my mind, and before you know it, man, we ended up coming back, and I think people said it was like a little small earthquake in Chicago, because when we tied the game up, it was so loud. I mean, that in that arena and everyone's house. I mean, it was a special thing. But I look at it as I've been a part of so many awesome moments. From the Jalen Suggs shot when I was at Gonzaga to go to the national championship to that game to the Final Four game against Louisville where I missed a 3-pointer, tip dunked it. I mean, it's just I have some very special moments, and as a coach, I love being able to try to create those moments for my players, man, because they're pretty special, and when you're a part of them, it's something that you never forget.
All right, Raj, I'm going to end it with this. You've been parts of very special NCAA tournament moments. Valpo was a part of maybe the most memorable NCAA tournament moment, the Bryce Drew shot. What is the one thing that has to happen this year for you guys to be able to put yourselves in a situation where you can create that moment this year?
Well, I think something is already happening with our program. Getting here, a big thing for me was to kind of get, my DNA. And my DNA from a coaching standpoint is a collection of, Bill Self, Bruce Weber, Jerry Sloan, Mark Few, Bryce Drew, Homer Drew. So really kind of getting my culture developed has been something that was important. And last year we had to do that. We had to kind of set a foundation. But with the guys that we signed, these transfers, our guys coming back, we have some awesome freshmen. The DNA, the culture's here, and these guys are extremely connected. And when you have a team that's extremely connected, you have some decent players, you have some good experience, guys I already know, that's when special things happen. And every team that I've coached or played on, my 2005 team that went to the national championship at Illinois, 2021 team at Gonzaga with Jalen Suggs that, went to the, national title game against Baylor. My last year at Valpo with Bryce Drew, we won 30 games, and we went to NIT championship in New York. All those teams, they were connected. And I think we're getting there, but you need some things to go your way. So I think all of that together is going to, hopefully equate to us making a tournament run. We'll see. It's going to be hard, but I'm crazy enough to believe it.
We appreciate Coach Powell being here with us. We appreciate all of the coaches that we hear for Missouri Valley Media Day, and we appreciate all of you fans that tuned in to watch our 3.5-hour marathon live stream breaking down the Missouri Valley, breaking down one of the best and most entertaining conferences in all of college basketball. I hope you guys are as fired up for the 2024-25 college basketball season as we are, and there's going to be no better place to follow along with all of that than the Field of 68. We'll have coverage every single night throughout the entire season, and we hope we'll see you guys there.